This documentary may contain footage of strays in distress or injury. Please watch with discretion.